starting with this to the people who are directly involved in this project. My topic is now that we are here. Now that you are here in Orila Agege, what is expected of you? That's my interest. Also, it has been proved that the best way to evangelize, which is our motivation in the church planting team, is to plant churches. I was told that in this LCDA, this is the only congregation of Church of Christ presently. Brethren, is a challenge, a very big challenge to us. Then if that is the case, what should we do? I'm going to show us by the grace of God 5 principles that should guide this congregation. 5 principles that now that you are here, what you should be doing. Some of them were mentioned even in the prayer, in the introduction, and even in comments this morning. Then that made me to understand that God is in our midst and guiding us. We are going to do it together. Please turn with me Acts chapter 18. If you are there, read from verse 24 to the end quickly. Let's look at something there to start with. How did this congregation come about? That is what I want us to look at first, before we start looking at what the Holy Spirit tells them. How did the Ephesian church come about? Who is reading? 2 Bible readers were mentioned. Please go with me very fast.
It says, meanwhile, a Jew named Apollos, a native of Alexandria, came to Ephesus. He was a learned man with a thorough knowledge of the scriptures. 25.
With what? A thorough knowledge of what?
The scripture.
Please take note of that. If you are here this morning and you think you have a thorough knowledge of the scriptures, you think that you are with Christ, you think you are a Christian, it's the same thing with this young man and some people that he met in Ephesus. Continue.
25.
Yes.
He had been instructed in the way of the Lord, and he spoke with great fervor and taught about Jesus accurately, though he knew only the baptism of John.
Wait there. Do we hear that? Look at what the Holy Spirit qualified this young man with. Thorough knowledge, understanding, boldness, accurateness, but there is a dot on it. And there are many people around us, you may also be here this morning, that have that dot. Please, that does not mean that we are better than you. Before you continue, that does not mean we are holier than you. The only thing that we are going to see in Acts chapter 19 now, there's something that we come to know that makes us different. There are churches around here. Sincerely, to be truthful to ourselves, there will not have been any need for this. That's just the simple truth. But as this verse says, there's something that we have seen that these people have not seen. And I want to start with that. That's what brought about the Ephesian church that we want to discuss this morning. Continue.
6. He began to speak boldly in the synagogue. When Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they invited him to their home and explained to him the way of God more adequately.
Okay, move to chapter 19, please. Do we hear that statement?
Yes.
A man that has the knowledge, is not human being that qualify him. The Holy Spirit qualify him that he has the knowledge, he has the understanding accurately. However, there's something that is missing. Then when this man and Priscilla and Aquila heard him speak, they knew there's something missing. The same thing when we went out since Thursday, some of us have been here, we went out to talk to people. The same way, when I was still young, more than 30 years ago, somebody came to me. I was worshiping with a church. Sit down, my young man. I was worshiping, giving my tithes, even as a student, do all I can as then, believing that I'm with God. But somebody came to me and said, Timothy, there's something missing. For 3 months, I was discussing with this man. He asked questions, and actually I realized that there's something missing. Let's look at that thing that is missing, chapter 19. That was what brought about the Ephesian church. Okay?
Verse 1.
Okay?
While Apollos was at Corinth, Paul took the road through the interior and arrived at Ephesus. Here he found some disciples and asked them, "Did you receive the Holy Spirit when you believed?" They answered, "No, we have not even heard that there is a Holy Spirit." 3. So Paul asked, "Then what baptism did you receive?" "John's baptism," they replied.